Hey, loons and lunatics, Moon here, back with Star, and welcome to something different. So we recently hit 150 subscribers, and by the way, I don't know why y'all are here, but thanks anyway, I guess.
Welcome.
Welcome.
You can no longer leave.
We're keeping you hostage or something. So we thought we'd do something a little different. So what we are going to do today is we have written down a couple of bad or inaccurate or just funny video game descriptions, and we are trying to guess the ones that are on each other's list based on these descriptions. We're going to talk about them a little bit, and then at the end, we're going to rank the video games we listed based on how likely we think we would be to survive those video games if we were in the world. So it's going to be wacky, it's going to be weird. We don't know what's on each other's list. And I think we're ready to get started. Are you ready, Star?
I think as ready as I'm gonna get.
Do you want
Who's
me
going
to
first?
Rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I got scissors. What you got?
I had scissors as well.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Shoot.
What
Paper.
Okay, I had rock, so you go first.
I go first. Yippee! Okay, let's see. My first terrible description for you. Let's see here. Lab rat simulator with quantum mechanics, now with 80% more condescension.
Lab rat simulator with quantum mechanics, now with 80% more condescension.
That is my inaccurate description.
Okay, so it feels like one of those evolutionary style games or something like that. I know you like a couple of them. Well, I know you play the game Niche, so that comes into consideration. But I know we've also talked about Spore a lot. So I'm kind of tempted to say Spore.
It is not Spore.
It's not Spore. Well, that was my best guess, so why don't you go ahead and tell me what it is?
The game I was describing was Portal 2.
Oh. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I completely contextualized that incorrectly.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't know why. It's like, I just really thought about Niche and Spore when you said that. But yeah, no, that's an accurate descriptor for Portal 2. And the condescension part should have given it away, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, hey.
GLaDOS isn't as condescending in the first game, so I thought it would kind of hint that it's the second one specifically.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually played both games through.
We should play them.
I know I played them. I just don't know if I played them through. Maybe we got to add that to the playlist at some point.
Backseat Gamer episode.
We'll see. Okay, so first one is Portal 2. Are you ready for my first one?
I am prepared.
All right. So my description is this. The church wanted to become a pharmaceutical company, so they gave people Cthulhu injections.
What? Okay, wait. The church wanted to become a pharmaceutical company, so they gave the people Cthulhu injections.
It's at this point, I guess we should disclaim we don't know for sure that each other have played all these games. We're just doing our best to be kind of general about it.
We're taking a shot in the dark. That really makes me think of Grim Dawn.
Oh.
I'm not sure if it was that. Let me think for a second. Grim Dawn's the first one that came to mind.
It does feel quite a bit like Grim Dawn. I'll give you that.
Oh, so
I won't answer until you tell me it's your final guess, though.
Gotcha. What other games are Cthulhu and involve the church giving people Cthulhu vaccinations? Well, I guess there's Bloodborne? Is that what Bloodborne's about? I've never played Bloodborne.
Oh.
I don't know if you've played Bloodborne either, judging by that response.
I have played Bloodborne.
Oh, you have? Okay, so maybe Bloodborne.
Do we have a final guess?
My guess is gonna be Grim Dawn.
Okay, so very close. So Grim Dawn definitely does have that feel, but that is not to my knowledge, part of the plot of Grim Dawn. Your second guess was actually correct. That is kind of the plot of Bloodborne.
Damn it.
So yeah, it's basically, in the city of Yharnam, they discover a eldritch being sleeping under the city, and they discover that by injecting people with its blood, they can heal basically everything, but then people start turning into lichens, and everything goes to hell.
They can heal everything except for the new diseases they just invented.
Yeah, it's like, don't imagine what diseases Cthulhu might have. So you were very close. Your second guess was spot on.
Okay, glad I at least knew that somewhat. Okay, Bloodborne. That's fun.
Yep, so what's your second one?
Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's see if you can guess this one. Alright. The heat death of the universe is actually pretty fun, even with the Eldritch invasion happening.
Heat death of the universe is actually pretty fun, even with the Eldritch invasion happening.
This one's fun.
Okay, a couple titles come to mind, and I'm starting to realize I'm very bad at guessing things. Well, not just realizing, that's always been a thing.
I mean, to be fair, it could be that I have a bad description. Maybe that describes a lot of games.
I mean, it's adjacent to a lot of things. It's making me think of, like, a couple different things. Heat, but specifically heat death of the universe.
You got this. I believe in you.
Heat death of the universe, and okay, can you reread it?
Let me see here. The heat death of the universe is actually pretty fun, even with the Eldritch invasion happening. Eldritch being general term for extraterrestrial, Cthulhian nightmare creatures.
Yeah. This is a video game.
I
think it's a heat death of the universe, because that's throwing me off. Because if it's the Cthulhu part, then I got plenty of guesses.
Am I allowed to keep giving you hints, or do you really want to try it?
If you want to, because I'm pretty stumped on that one.
1 star remaining in all the universe.
I don't know if I know this.
Really? No, you absolutely know this. Maybe it's just been a minute, though.
Hang on. God, it's like striking a memory. Wait. Wait a minute. If this is what I think it is, then I think I actually didn't really play this game. If it's the one I'm thinking of, then I barely played the intro. No,
you absolutely played this game. There's no doubt in my mind.
Okay, let me get this out. Is it Outer Wilds?
No.
Okay. Because isn't that part of that game?
Something? I think, the star in Outer Wilds is going to explode. It's not the last star in the universe, though.
Okay, I didn't know. God. I'm bad at guessing.
Okay. Was that your guess?
Yeah, I think that was the best guess. I'm gonna kick myself on this. So what is it?
Battleborn. You're fighting for the last star.
Oh, fucking hell. To be honest, I think I actually forgot the last star bit.
It's been a minute.
Okay, the rest of that makes sense. The final star bit, I think I actually forgot, but truly underrated game. I'm glad it was on your list. But yeah, no, I don't know if I ever even knew it was the last star, despite how many hours sunk into that game.
Well, I was gonna say it's only really brought up in like the intro sequence, but there's like the whole prophecy reading segment, and then making fun of said prophecy, where it's, hey, there's 1 star remaining. The Eldrazi ate everything else. Fight to protect these worlds.
Okay, to be fair, I probably watched that once and then skipped it every time and totally forgot it. So no, okay, I'm really glad that's on your list. That makes me unbelievably happy, but I think my chances of getting that were almost zil.
I'm sorry. I was
No, you're good. It's meant to be inaccurate or weird descriptions, and that's an obscure piece of lore I just forgot.
It's not obscure. It's in the prologue.
It's obscure to me.
Okay. This man skips game tutorials.
Puts like 1,000 hours into the game, but skips the tutorial.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
All right, that was my second one.
Okay, ready for my my second one?
Sure.
Eldritch statue hits the earth, killing the dinosaurs. Starts people farm.
What? Okay, so why does that make me think of a couple of things? Okay, I'm gonna go with God, what is the name I am looking for? My goodness. So it's an eldritch. Repeat one more time.
Eldritch statue hits the earth, killing the dinosaurs. Starts people farm.
Eldritch statue. I was gonna say, I want to say. Okay, here's my guess. My guess is Dead Space.
You are correct. That is Dead Space.
Yes.
So yeah, it's the marker impacted Earth and then helped to advance human civilization until it was ripe for harvesting. Is basically the breakdown.
Gotcha. That's kind of what I assumed from the very little I've come into contact with Dead Space, mainly because it scares the hell out of me.
Oh, you haven't played Dead Space?
No.
Oh, I know what we should play.
No.
To be fair, I haven't played all the Dead Spaces either, but I know vaguely enough about it. Okay, hit me with your number 2. I can't wait to
let me see
be embarrassed
here.
again. Actually, you're number 3.
Yeah, my number 3.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Here we go. You won a one-way ticket to Valhalla, but first Odin needs you to do some errands for him.
Oh, I thought we were looking for wacky or weird descriptors, not completely accurate ones.
Hey, it works.
So this is obviously Valheim.
Yes, it's 100% Valheim.
And it's a very accurate description. And I wouldn't say that game's very underrated, but I'm kind of surprised I haven't kept hearing about it, given how good it was.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, my backup description was Odin sends you on his milk run.
That actually could have been a couple of games. That actually would have thrown me. I still would have thought Valheim first, but there's a couple other games I could think of that might fit. But also, given, that we're not doing totally accurate description, that also, kind of muddies the water.
Maybe that one was too on point. But
no,
man,
I think it was fine. It was a fun description of the game, which it does fit the bill. But hey, at least I got one. Can't take that from me.
Valheim is... Yeah, you did get one. Valheim is pretty fun, though.
We should do a Valheim playthrough at some point.
We should. We absolutely should.
All right, ready for my third
5 likes on this video and we'll do a Valheim playthrough!
At some point. Ready for my third one?
Alright, hit me with it.
Catastrophic crash causes child soldiers.
What? I'm sorry, catastrophic crash causes child soldiers? I'm not gonna lie, the first thing that came to mind was Peter Pan. But no. That's not a game, but I'm
sure there is a Peter Pan game. Also, this definitely falls into the not totally accurate category, but...
Okay. Catastrophic crash causes child soldiers.
I was definitely reaching a bit with this one, but I just thought that description was funny.
I'm really trying to think. For some reason... man, I'm thinking...
Do you want to hint?
I don't know why. Well, I was going to say, just walking you through my thought process, for some reason Halo comes to mind, and I'm thinking of, the Spartans, because the Spartans are technically, two grown human things.
So most of the Spartans are taken as children and then, adapted, and then most of them don't survive the process of becoming Spartans. So
gotcha.
That's not an entirely inaccurate way of quantifying it.
Because there's a lot of crashes. But I don't think that's right. Okay, let me hear the hint.
This is not going to help much given that hint. It's a sci-fi game.
Oh, gee, thanks. Sci-fi. It's definitely not Deep Rock Galactic, because to my knowledge, there's no child labor in Deep Rock Galactic yet.
Maybe all the dwarves are children.
Yeah, I'd say if all the dwarves are children, then dang, they look great for 5 years old.
I need to work on my beard.
Do
you want another hint?
Sure.
This is a better hint. This should narrow it down a lot. This is not strictly a single player game.
Ooh, okay.
It can be a single player game, but it's not really intended to be.
Man, I'm trying to think. So the initial description was catastrophic crash creates child soldier. Oh! I think I got it. It's Warframe.
You are correct. It's Warframe. So it's the Zaraman incident that eventually caused the 10-0.
Yeah, the Zaraman Zero incident.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, you got it.
That, I'm not gonna lie, I was like thinking, and I'm like, I think you can do that in Stellaris, but that's a really niche situation.
I mean, I'm sure you could.
And I was also thinking, like, I guess if you count all the freshly created robots as children, Supreme Commander also works.
Yeah, I mean,
but
kinda.
I was extrapolating a lot there.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's 100% Warframe.
Yep. Go ahead and hit me with your fourth one.
Okay. Let's see here. Genetic experimentation with cute creatures.
Okay, this one's got to be Spore, right?
Not quite.
Really? God. Okay. Do you allow me a second guess?
I'll allow you a second guess.
God, because I don't know. God, Spore's on the brain lately. Genetic experimentation, but with cute creatures.
I wouldn't say everything in Spore is cute, is my main defense there.
Yeah, they're kind of like chibi.
They're kind of blobby.
God. Okay. Genetic experimentation. Can you read it again exactly as you had it?
Genetic experimentation with cute creatures.
God.
Here, would it be more clarifying if I said, let me see here. Generational genetic experimentation with cute creatures.
That would still sound like Spore to me.
Oh my gosh. Here's a hint. Here's another hint. You said it earlier.
Oh, is niche?
Niche. That is correct.
Okay. To be fair, I didn't actually know that was a generational game because I've never played it. I just know you play it a lot.
Yeah. I play it a lot, but it's literally you start with a handful of creatures and you're literally genetically trying to survive with the genes you've been given throughout the generations.
Gotcha. Okay, good to know, because yeah, that's one I haven't played, but I could have extrapolated that. Yeah, no, Spore's on my brain today. Okay. I'm gonna laugh if your last one winds up winds up being Spore and I don't guess it. That's gonna be funny.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. What's your fourth one?
Okay. Ancients turn into dust and wind up threatening the universe. Also, humans and aliens are there too, I guess.
Okay. Hang on. Ancients turn into dust. Humans and aliens are just kind of there, and they're threatening the universe.
Ancients turn into dust and wind up threatening the universe. Also, humans and aliens are there too, I guess.
What? Okay. All right. Okay. To dust. I'm trying to think of a game where a sentient cloud of cosmic dust is the enemy.
To be fair, I know you're at least familiar with the game, but it's entirely possible you don't know this aspect of the game.
I'm really thinking about it.
I don't know how much you've lore dived on this particular game.
Okay, I'm gonna reach a little bit here, and I'm going to ask. There's a question, I guess. I'm asking a question.
Okay.
Is it from the Borderlands series? Like,
No,
is that no?
It is not from Borderlands.
Okay, because sentient cosmic cloud sounds like something that Borderlands would deal
It
with.
kind of does, but I don't think there's anything like that in Borderlands, to my knowledge.
Yet. Sentient cloud. And aliens and humans are there. Just kind of vibing. Maybe at war with each other.
Maybe.
Okay. Alright.
Want me to give you a hint?
Sure.
They're absolutely at war with each other.
Okay, that makes me think of a lot of things.
Yeah, not like that's a common trope in games.
I was gonna say, I was talking about Halo earlier, so Halo's at the top of my brain.
Alright.
God, what's the other game? I haven't played it, but it's fucking Helldivers.
Oh, Helldivers? So
Is there a sentient, angry cosmic clouds in Helldivers? I know you're fighting like aliens and shit.
So not. I don't believe there's anything like that in Helldivers yet. But there definitely are different aliens. There's like
that humans are fighting.
There's like the insect swarm thing, and then the mechs, and then the Covenant that invaded Earth.
Yeah.
Or not the Covenant, the Illuminant.
I was gonna say the Covenant invaded Helldivers too. Dang.
I think it's the Illuminant there, but it's a similar vibe.
Basically the same. So okay, interesting. It's honestly turns into dust. That becomes threat to universe.
Do you want me to give you another hint?
I mean, again, I'm thinking of like Stellaris, and I'm sure that there's something in Stellaris that's like that, but that's such a specific thing for Stellaris.
I'm sure there is. Some of these dust things, I've heard them sometimes called moops. I don't know if that helps.
Moops. Oh god, it fucking is Halo.
You're correct. It is Halo. So it's basically I'm not 100% on my Halo lore, but the ancient race of Forerunners. It's I don't think it's even 100% clear, but basically they turned themselves into dust or something.
Huh.
And then had planned to like reconstitute, but then something happened and that dust weren't turned into the flood. Or something, and then the flood
infest things.
Fed across everything, and then shit happened. I'm sure that's not 100% accurate, people. Please don't be mad at me. Some of the lore is hard to follow.
Oh gosh, honestly, the moops.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd heard that term. That's what people used to call it when I was a kid. Like, hey, shoot the moops.
Get the moops.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I probably should have stopped you sooner because you did discuss Halo, so I probably should have counted that. So sorry.
I think that's funny. I think it's just funny. Halo was at the top of my brain there,
and it was right. Just trust your instincts. Okay, give me your fifth one.
All right, my fifth one. This one's funny for no discernible reason. Don't worry about it. Create biological impossibility with no regard for practicality or reality and send them to space.
Oh, this is easy. This is obviously Kerbal Space Program.
Oh my god.
No, it's Spore.
It's Spore.
There it is. It's finally there. Okay.
I thought that was funny. You did predict that it was.
Well, you had a lot of ones. I was like, oh, that's Spore. Oh, that's Spore. No, this one's Spore. Are you Spore?
Are you Spore? He's Spore. I'm Spore. Is anyone else here Spore?
I was debating about putting Spore on my list, so I guess I'm glad I didn't. But spoiler, I guess the last one's not Spore. Okay.
All right. Well, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is this. Death makes people sad. A pyromaniac is trying to make everyone happy again.
Death makes people sad, yes, generally. A pyromaniac is trying to make people happy again.
Yep.
Yeah. Interest. Okay. Again. Brain's doing things. Brain's cooking something. I'm really. There's not pyromaniacs trying to make people.
I know that you're at least aware of this game series. I'm not sure if you've played it yourself.
Okay, so I was thinking Borderlands, because there's a lot of death, and there's also a pyromaniac siren involved, who's generally trying to not make everyone dead, except for the people who are in the way.
That's not untrue.
I
don't know if she cares about making everyone happy, but
I mean, she cares about the people she cares about.
Yeah, you psychos, you can go deal with your sadness yourself.
Maniacs trying to make people.
This game, I'm gonna give you a hint. This game is like gothic and medieval.
That really didn't clarify things. I'm now more confused.
This game was made by the same company that made one of the other games on this list.
Ah.
I don't know how much that helps.
Oh wait, fucking okay, hang on. Death makes people sad. Pyromaniac is trying to make people happy. Is it Dark Souls?
It is Dark Souls. Good job. So yeah, everybody's
pyromaniac. The fact that you keep lighting bonfires throughout the game.
Well, also that you're trying to relight the eternal ember or whatever that kind of resets, that keeps the world the same. Because once the fire goes out, that's once people start becoming hollow. They're massively generalizing here, but yeah, it's like each of the Dark Souls games, you're on a quest to find like the ever-burning pyre or whatever it's called, I forget, and trying to relight it. But in the third game, you have the option to not relight it, hence ending that era of the world and finally leading it to ruin.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's kind of like an inevitability thing. Like people keep relighting it, but each time they relight it, the age of fire is shorter and shorter. So it's kind of like they're fighting the inevitable. So it's kind of like, do you just continue the cycle, or do you just finally let it die, let everything go to ruin, and a new era will eventually rise?
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, it's Dark Souls.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be honest, when I tried playing Dark Souls, I did not absorb any kind of lore. I was just like, I'm gonna go fight things and dodge a lot, and what are these words you're saying to me? I don't speak English anymore.
To be fair, Dark Souls, as much as like I have respect for their game,
their lore is a little...
Yeah, as much as I have respect for the studio and everything, their lore is very difficult to follow, and I wish that they made their stories a bit more overt. So, okay, so we have all our games. I'm going to search out images so we can make our tier list. So we'll be back once I have that.
Be back in a second, loons and lunatics.
I got my images up for the games. And now Star and I are going to rank these based on how likely we think we are to survive them. So we got totally cooked at the top. We are not surviving, completely dead. Survive unlikely is exactly like it sounds like. I'm in danger if we're kind of waffling. Meh, if there's a reasonable chance of death, but we'd probably make it through if we're smart. And I'd survive. We're completely confident we got this. So in each of these games, we're more or less just ourselves. We're not a main character. We don't have any special powers. Outside of anything we could maybe reasonably attain in the world, we're just normal people. So first up, we have Spore. So Star, do you think you could survive Spore?
I think actually, yeah. I think like I'm between meh or nah, I'd survive in Spore, simply because let's break down the game stages. In the cell stage, yes, absolutely, I would 100% beat the snot out of all those fish trying to bite me. I would 100% win. Creature stage, a little bit more tricky, because you got your normal creatures, you know, the ones with average stats, and then you have your min-max creatures that are either death incarnate or the embodiment of friendship that you can't resist. So I think if I'm careful and I avoid the things that are death incarnate and avoid the things that want to use me as bait, I'd be fine. And also, maybe I could befriend some powerful things and create an army.
Okay.
So I think I'd survive creature stage. Tribal stage, I think yes, because once I get weapons, it's no question. I can 100% own these jelly bones.
Okay. So I was kind of thinking along the same lines. My concern comes in the later stages, especially like once you get into the space stage.
Civilization and space stage are where it's a little bit more questionable. Civilization, it's honestly pretty straightforward. If you get the spice, you get the money, you buy out the other cities, bam, you win. You win at life.
Yeah, but let's keep in mind, you're not the overlord. You're just a person in those cities. Oh shit,
you're right. I'm a little
You're
person.
just a person in those cities, because the narrative kind of switches between those two.
That's right. I think I could take over a tribe and still be in charge for a tribe, but entering the civilization stage you're right, it's a bit more tricky.
And it gets even more nebulous once you enter like the space age, and just like a planet could go bye-bye.
Yeah, I'd say that's kind of a flip of the coin. I think once civilization stage and space stage come around, you're just kind of like a citizen. You're just a dude. That, or you're an interesting science phenomenon, because they're like, what are you?
That's fair. My kind of thought process on this was, I agree with you. I think because we kind of knowing what we know, I think the early stages wouldn't be too bad. You could still have a really unlucky run-in that could prematurely end your existence. But one of my thoughts was, technically, since we're just us, we only have to survive in time to get the next generation out. One evolution, and then we're done with our job. So given that context,
we wouldn't even need to survive through like the entirety of the game.
No, and that's the thing. You really wouldn't, would you?
Yeah.
So, and my thought,
just stall in the creature stage, or the tribe stage.
And as far as like the later stages being harder, my thought is kind of a flip of a coin, because it's like 2 in 5 chance that you wind up in the modern or space age, where your survival is a little more up to like bigger powers. But I think personally, I was going to put it in meh, because I think there's a pretty good chance to survive, but there's always a chance that, you get swept up in a larger conflict or something big comes over the hill.
I was going to say, there's always the chance that the planet gets blown up or bombed by enemy forces, or you get abducted by alien scientists who think you're fascinating.
Yep.
And you're never seen again.
This is true. Okay, so the next one is niche. So I would like to start as a totally qualified person who's never played this game.
Okay.
I think I'd survive. I'll drink whatever I gotta drink, and if I gotta eat the others on the island, then you know what? I got it. Boom, easy.
You know what? That's fair. I think honestly, niche is kind of weird because different islands have different difficulties, but I think if it's like a beginner game, you're on the easiest of islands, you don't got no predators, and there's things you can hunt and things like berries you can find and water sources. Yeah, you can survive. I'd say survive.
You think you can survive?
Yeah, unless you were to start for some reason be on one of the harder islands, in which case I think no, I'm cooked. Because there are some bad islands.
What is the likelihood of spawning on a harder island? So maybe that's the question of where it is what's the likelihood you spawn on an easier island?
It depends on the settings you use, because you can either select the island, randomize it, or story mode it. I'd say that's a really 50-50, because it's either you survive or you don't.
So you think split the difference and I'm in danger?
Yeah. I think maybe I'm in danger.
So you could either you could be way down here or way up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that makes sense, because kind
of like real life, environment matters.
Yeah. I'm good with that. I'm in danger seems to fit.
Okay. Next we got Battleborn, and let me tell you, I think survival is pretty unlikely. Is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Like average person, no fancy skills, no like minimal fighting experience. The universe is ending. The Eldritch Eldrazi forces are like killing everyone, and society has collapsed.
And Rendane and the Imperium don't give a crap about you or anyone. And all the other factions, to be honest, even though they're the good guys, I don't like my survival chances with most of them either.
And also with the fact that, like, the last star, there's no other stars in the galaxy. We probably were dead before the story even started.
A good chance, but assuming we did survive there, and the star thing is totally a thing I remembered. Personally, I'm thinking survival unlikely. Like, it's not 100% we're dead, but most likely we're either not going to make it to adulthood or we will die shortly after as a conscript or something.
Survival unlikely, I agree with you.
Okay. So next we have Portal 2. If you were in Portal 2, how likely do you think you are to survive?
Personally, my personal opinion is I'm cooked so much that I'm deep fried. Because here's the thing, Portal, yes, it's about the puzzles. I can solve the puzzles. The problem is it requires a lot of physical activity. You have to be running and jumping and all this stuff, and I am not in shape. I would do like one jump over a chasm and be like, oh, let me take a break, and then I'd get shot by a turret.
I was kind of thinking along the same lines, because like in some ways I think you'd do it. There's some real life applications I think we could do with the portal gun and the puzzles that the robot wasn't able to do. But a lot of the dangers, or especially like when you have to like loop yourself through portals, you're just going to break every bone in your body.
Yeah, I would try to do like the momentum thing with the portals and immediately shatter every bone in my body as I'm flung against the wall.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't know. I was kind of thinking survival unlikely, like very unlikely, but it's not completely
unlikely. But also, here's the thing. I guess it's a question. How much do we have to? Because if we're in this setting, also, it's more than likely that we'd get neurotoxined. Also,
that's fair.
Unless, well, actually, no. Hang on. I'm reevaluating. Because if we could just like quit, like sooner, like say we're a test subject, right? Well, maybe not even a test subject. We might just be a bystander.
I think for the purposes of the argument, let's assume we have to have like some involvement with the game. Yeah. Kind of like in Battleborn, like, yeah, we could be a random civvy, but this war is going to touch us, and so are the factions and stuff in some way. So we're probably going to be involved. I think with Portal 2, we have to be involved.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, though, is that everyone who's not a test subject died.
So
like 100%.
So totally cooked.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still thinking about the meat jelly.
Oh, goodness, yeah. Like, in theory, I was just going to say, for argument's sake, in theory, if we got the portal gun, if we could leave the test chambers and get behind the scenes, have definitely more chance of survival, but that's, again, assuming that we would have access to being a test subject.
Yeah. Well, I think we would have to assume that to some degree just for this argument to work.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I agree. Like, I think there's a slim chance of survival, so I could see survival unlikely, but I'm fine with putting it in totally cooked.
Yeah. Robot overlords win.
So next is Dark Souls, and honestly, I'm feeling like it's totally cooked, because even if it can come back, I think I'm dying so many times, I'm a full hollow.
Well, I was going to say, hang on here. I thought the whole problem was that you can't die.
The problem is you're going to keep dying, and you're just going to go insane. And I think I'm going insane so fast.
It would not be great.
Like, maybe some of the areas I could see getting through with a little bit of application of skill. Like, I have some physical ability, but I'm nothing like freaking main character in these games. But the second I'm faced with like a spider lady that spews lava and swings great swords or something like that, like, yeah, I'm so dead. There's like, I'm not making it through it. Yeah.
I was going to say, if we're talking about like physical prowess, I don't think I would survive Portal 2, which is pretty athletic. Dark Souls is like you need to be a Herculean Olympian to survive.
So we agree we're totally cooked.
Yeah, we're cooked.
Okay.
Bottom of the deep fryer. Bottom of the pan.
We got lost in the oven.
Yeah.
So Halo, I actually have some thoughts on this, because don't get me wrong, survival is not guaranteed. But assuming we're like people in the UNSC, like, it's bad, but a lot of people did survive the war. So even if you're a soldier or something, I think there's a reasonable chance you could survive, but your survival is not guaranteed in any way. What are your thoughts?
I'm agreeing with that. I was definitely thinking like I'm in danger kind of levels, because again, if we're just like random civvies, in this case we definitely would be. Like obviously, protection not 100% guaranteed, but generally a lot of people were just like going about their lives in the background of like the games.
I mean, like, yeah.
And like, yeah, bad shit happens, and so it's kind of like a flip of the coin if the Covenant found your planet, or if the Flood was unleashed on your planet.
Which
or any number of things.
Yeah, so like Earth went through the ringer in Halo, but like Earth still existed. I believe currently to where the game is. I haven't played all the games, but I believe Earth's is still spinning. Yeah. So we're thinking that's kind of middle of the road, flip of the coin.
Yeah, because like I feel like there's a decently good chance to survive it.
I think that's fair. So on to the next one, Dead Space. I'm thinking I'm so dead.
So dead, 100%, no debate. I'm just dead.
Like, the main character in Dead Space needed so much plot armor just to have a chance at solving this. Like, humans, no, so dead.
Well, okay, here's my one alternative option. Do you count necromorphs as being dead already?
They have necro in the name. I'm going to say yes. I'm no longer myself.
That's fair. Okay, loss of self is the line.
I think that's worse than death, personally.
Yeah. Endless torment. That's fair.
You could be turned into a meat planet.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, Dead Space. Like I said Dark Souls and Portal were like bottom of the grill, but this is like you're actively in the fire.
You're straight through to the middle of the planet. You're cooked.
You are beyond cooked. You are not surviving.
Like, I don't think we weren't doing this in any particular order, but if we were, I think Dead Space is like the number one.
Yeah, Dead Space is like, there is no survival. There's no chance of survival.
Actually, if we want to do these in order, I think Dead Space and Dark Souls are more lethal than Portal 2, and I think Halo's a bit more dubious than Niche.
Than Niche.
Yeah. Do we agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay, cool. We agree. Dead Space is horrible. We're not surviving. Bloodborne.
No, I don't know as much about Bloodborne.
Well, it's like there are normal people surviving. I think, honestly, your best bet is to A, hope you didn't get a church vaccine, and B, hole up in your home and don't leave and hope nothing gets in.
Don't leave.
I think
survival unlikely?
I think survival is very unlikely, but as long as you do your best not to get involved, maybe there's a chance.
I was going to say, my 2 cents is I think Bloodborne might be more lethal than Battleborn. I think in the sense that you're like holding out with like no actual idea. Battleborn, I feel like you could at least like try to live. Like, I don't know, it could just become a merchant or something like that. Like sell the guns to the people doing the fighting.
Become like a Marcus-style arms dealer.
Yeah, Bloodborne is you're just cowering and hiding in your bunker hoping nothing gets in.
I mean, based on
very little power.
Based on evidence, like some people who did get like the sickness, like they still retained some humanity, but they were, there's like the hunters and stuff. Like you play as a hunter in Bloodborne, but even most of the hunters meet horrible fates. Like you just happen to be the outlier. Well, or actually maybe not. One of the endings has you turning into a slug. Spoilers.
Slug.
But yeah, I'd agree. There's very few unaffected people in Bloodborne, and some of the people that retain sanity are still greatly changed and kind of hunted by the crazies and the other hunters. So yeah, I'm fine with survival unlikely because I think it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
Okay, next is Valheim. So ignoring the fact that we're already dead.
I was gonna say my 2 cents there is we've already died.
So ignoring that fact, we're in Valheim. Do you think could survive?
I honestly think yes. Like I don't know. I don't know if it's 100% like I'd totally survive. I feel like I'm meh or I'm in danger kind of zone personally. Just because one, we know the game, and in theory, like you can just hang out in like the grasslands. You see, and technically you can't die of old age or anything. You're there until you do Odin's job, so you can just kind of slowly get stronger and better at the game.
Yes.
Get better at existing in the world.
So see, that was kind of my thought too. Like, we don't have any special stats. We're not like the main character here, but I actually had the exact same thought as you. Hang out in the grasslands, deal with problems smartly, and don't go looking for trouble, and just stay there for eternity. Because I can tell you, I'm not beating all the trials that Odin set out.
Odin, kind of a dirt move there, Odin. Yeah,
So
I think Valheim's survival is more guaranteed than Spore. I agree with you trying to move it there.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I was looking at it, but it's like Valheim, I think if you just hang out and play it safe, like, yeah, you might die, but I think there's a reasonable chance you could just survive in the grasslands.
Yeah.
You'd have most of the food and shit you need, so.
Yeah. I think the worst you'd have to deal with is, like, there's, like, the runaway, like, monsters or whatever that would send, like, stuff to attack you.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you don't kill the thunder deer, the first guy, the worst you have to deal with is, like, an army of boars.
And maybe some of the fish people.
Yeah, not the Sawagans, but kind of
Sawagans, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, those are easy to deal with, and even if you do kill the deer, then you just have, I think it's trolls come next.
Yeah,
and, like, trolls could definitely kill you, but also I am small.
Yeah.
And I've read the stories. I know how to deal with trolls.
Kick them in the ankle, punch them in the dick.
Sure. I was going to say shoot them in the eye, but that works.
So next we have Warframe.
That's a little bit divisive.
Yeah, because we're not a Tenno, so presumably we've either been sucked up by the Corpus or God forbid, we're a Grineer clone.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, we're either a Grineer clone, or we're a Corpus worker, or alternatively, we're on Fortuna or Cetus, which Fortuna is a work colony, and Cetus is like a bastion of like a native population. Which honestly, those two wouldn't be too bad. Fortuna would be worse than Cetus, just because it's a work indenture colony, and yeah, basically it's like Lone Shark Hell.
Yeah,
but at least you have good community.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. Like, I don't think that Warframe's like a guaranteed death. Like, if you get involved in the war, or like the infestation or something comes to your planet, I think your survival rate is not great. But if you keep out of it, I think you have a reasonable chance of survival.
Yeah, like if you're just going about your life, like even if you're a Grineer, you could just be a fucked up little clone for like the rest of your days and you could be fine. Your life wouldn't be great, but you'd survive. I almost feel like being a Corpus would be better, because at least then you could have like normal amenities and have a little bit of a normal life, even if you have a crippling addiction to money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as much as like I don't like the Corpus, if I have the option, I'm going Corpus all the way.
Yeah, no, the Grineer would suck.
I don't want to be a lump of tumors, thank you.
Yeah. I think the worst thing that would happen with the Corpus is, I think, either one, you get raided by the Tenno and then you're just dead to space ninja pirates, or you get into debt and you're sent to a work colony, where then you have to buy new parts to do your work, and those parts cost money, so you're even more in debt, so you have to keep doing more work and you keep replacing parts, and then it's just a big old loop. But hey, at least you have a nice community if you're in Fortuna.
Yeah, so we're thinking it's like I'm endangered here.
Yeah, I think I'm in danger. We would not guaranteed survive any of these. Great.
I'm almost feeling like Warframe might actually be a little bit more dangerous than Halo, just due to like the close proximity of everything and how active the wars are.
Yeah, like everyone's raiding everyone constantly.
24/7, yeah.
And then there's also just like, if we're going like on the, because Warframes and MMORPG, there's actually like thousands and thousands of Tenno running around.
Yeah, and then there's also like the sentience and everything else. So it's just like, oh god, a new player has entered the fray.
Yeah, and the Orokin like derelicts and stuff that just randomly kidnap people and turn them into mind slaves.
Yeah, and then there's
security bots.
Yeah, and then like we said, the infestation could just show up out of nowhere, and now you're a twisted flesh Hulk.
Oh god, yeah.
So
Yeah, because you can be living a normal life, but then the infestation's there, and then suddenly it's dead space.
yeah, like I think if you live on Cetus, you're probably pretty likely to be okay. Like I'd rather live in Cetus than Fortuna, but
yeah, again, Fortuna's got a really good community, but it is an indentured servitude colony where you are you're drowning in debt constantly and trying to work to survive. Cetus honestly would be the best place to live, just hanging out, doing your thing, and dealing with the Grineer constantly basically shaking you down, but hey, at least you're alive.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so we got our tier list finalized. So we are not super confident in surviving any of these, but we're most likely to survive Spore and Valheim, and Dead Space, Dark Souls, and Portal 2 are not, we died or we're dead. We're gone.
Yeah.
Or crazy in the case of Dark Souls.
Or crazy. Loss of self we will count as death.
Yeah. Okay, so this was pretty interesting. I enjoyed having a little discussion on these games. So what'd you think, Star?
I was definitely amused. This was fun to do. And also, weirdly, I feel like I don't know that many games, but when guessing, I feel like I had a pretty good grip on a lot of these.
That's good.
Generally.
That's nice. So that was fun. Something a little different. Let us know if you want us to do anything else like this. Like, there's so much we could discuss. Like, we love discussing like shows, games, books, all sorts of different things. Plenty of ideas for what we could do for other videos like this. But yeah, just let us know what you think. You have any last notes or messages, Star?
Well, I was gonna say if we should definitely play some of these because I want to see you play the Portal games now, and I think. I don't know. We could definitely we could attempt to play Spore or something on the channel. That would be interesting.
I mean, I'm sure we both have Spore. And isn't Portal 2 multiplayer?
There's a Portal 2 multiplayer like section, but it's not part of like the main game. And of course, I was gonna say if we hit 5 likes on this video, we'll do a Valheim series
at some point. Disclaimer: at some point. All right.
Yeah. I'm not playing Dead Space though. That's the one thing I'm not gonna do.
If we hit 100 likes on this video, I will pressure Star to play Dead Space, and she probably won't.
I will cry on camera. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. It sounds fun to me.
No.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us and listen to our ramblings, and we'll catch you next time.
We'll see ya.